Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Zalina binti Zakaria. I am from Universiti Malaya Halal Research Centre in Kuala Lumpur, one of the universities in Malaysia, and our centre um, is based on halal related research, and also apart from doing research, of course, as universities we do research, but also we do halal training, halal workshops, halal trainings that we got recognition from the authority, halal authority in Malaysia, as JAKIM, that is JAKIM, and we also do public awareness, halal related awareness, and all other halal related matters such as advice to even industry for halal matters. So just brief introduction about our center. So today I would like to actually share with you on halal cosmetic. How does it control in Malaysia? So we are talking about two aspects here. First is of course halal, and when we say it's halal, then it is something that we associate with ingredients, and of course the ingredient used must be that doesn't contain anything that can be of haram substance and all those related to ingredients and substances. While the other aspect of halal cosmetic, which sometimes people overlook, is the more important aspect of safety and quality, because halal, yes, it is very big part, but another big part of halal is also tayyiban, which represents safety and quality. So we know that once a cosmetic is certified as halal, that means it is safe, of quality, and also it use the substance that does not actually breach the Islamic or Sharia perspectives. So my outline today, I would divide my presentation into two parts. First is on the introduction to cosmetic and also their relevant regulations. We are going to look into how halal cosmetic are controlled in terms of policy, in terms of governing safety and halal aspect, and the second part will be on the Malaysia standard, the halal Malaysia standard, what we call as halal cosmetic standard general requirement, MS 2634, first revision. And for your information, this is not the first time halal cosmetic standard has been introduced in Malaysia. Actually, this is the revised version from the first version. So since I think in 2008, if I'm not mistaken, the first halal cosmetic standard in Malaysia has been introduced. So after more than 10 years, actually, Malaysia revised it to become the current one. Well, I will look into the definition of cosmetic. So in Malaysia, we have guidelines for control of cosmetic in Malaysia, and the guidelines has been actually is a born from an act, what we call as Cosmetic and Drug Safety Regulations 1984. So from that regulation, it gave birth to this guidelines for control of cosmetic Malaysia, and the cosmetic has been defined, according to the definition, where it was stated that any substance or preparation intended to be placed in contact with the various external parts of human body, including epidermis, hair system, nails, lips, and external genital organs, or with the teeth and the mucous membrane or of the oral cavity, with a view exclusively or mainly to cleaning them, perfuming them, changing their appearance, or correcting body odors, protecting them, or keeping them in good condition. So from this definition, we could see, firstly, there are two aspects. That is, first is on the place to use the product. So it has been said it must be used only on the external or external parts of the body, and meaning if we put inside the body, then it is not considered cosmetic. So the other aspect that we need to look into, also the important aspect, that is the function of cosmetic, the function of that product. If if that product falls under one of the five, or maybe two at the same time, they are doing two functions at the same time, but within these five functions, then they are cosmetic. Why we need to know all of the the functions? Because some functions other than these five cannot be categorized as cosmetic. They might be categorized as other products, and most of the time people probably mistakenly thought they are cosmetic while they are drugs, or they are some kind of pharmaceutical products. Well, it depends on the claims that they make against the product or onto the product. So we need to know the definition this one, because then we can differentiate. Maybe it looks like the same. One product looks like, what is this? This might be cosmetic, this might be drug. But how do we know it? It must be from the intention to use, and also the function of usage of the product itself. So again, first is to clean, the second is to perfume, the third one is to improve, to change, or to beautify appearance, and then to eliminate body odors, and then to keep and maintain in good condition. The five functions that are classified as under cosmetic definition. So other than this, so they cannot be considered, all those products that don't fall under the five purposes cannot be categorized as cosmetic. Right. Then it comes to some guessing, I would say, because there are, like I said just now, some people can mistakenly thought that some products are cosmetic, and how do we differentiate between cosmetic and non-cosmetic? So what about injection? Some people, they use Botox, some people, they use vitamin C, they inject. Yeah, they are also vitamin C from maybe from the sachet, from sometimes people pour into drinks and then drink it. So, and some people use the vitamin C, for example, to inject onto the skin, so to make our skin supple, and then clearer and nice and whatnot. So if it involves any kind of injection, then it is not cosmetic. So so similarly, like I said just now, when they claim this is a collagen drink, you just drink it, you will see the results in 5 days, for example. So, but you have to drink it. So once it's a drink, it's a kind of drink, and you have to, you have to put into the body. Okay, so just I mentioned about definition, that it is not to be used inside the body, but also on the external parts. Then therefore, all the drinks, even the collagen drink, the cosmetic, the vitamin drinks, whatever that you have the claim of cosmetic, they are not cosmetic, because because you don't use onto the skin or on the external part of the body. So similarly, any products that are used for medical claims, yeah. For example, anti-acne, or for example, anti-racious products. So what do you mean by that? Meaning there must be some corroboration, there must be some aspects, there must be some important proof to show that they are actually they can cure those type of medicinal aspects. So they are not cosmetic. And any kind of product, in fact, that used onto, not only onto the skin, but into the skin, then they are not cosmetic. And any kind of product that used, a lot of, in Malaysia sometimes we have products that actually they want to increase their sexual excitement and whatnot, sexual stimulation products and whatnot. They are not cosmetic. These are the mistaken thought that people make, because they thought they are all these products are cosmetic. So in Malaysia, we have a National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, which actually oversee and also regulate, and they are regulator. So in a way that they regulate not only cosmetic, but they also regulate drug. But for drug and cosmetic, they have different section because drug is under even stringent requirements and um, 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 conditions, because drugs means they need registration or prior approval, what we call as you need to have registration systems. Everything must be must have clinical testing before you can sell the products in the market. While for cosmetic, the requirements or conditions before it can be sold, it is not as strict or as stringent as drugs. Yeah, so this is what we call as notification system in Malaysia, as opposed to registration system. So what is notification of cosmetics? So it means that no one can actually manufacture, sell, distribute, import, or own any cosmetic unless it is a notified cosmetic products. And who can do this notification? It's actually the responsibilities of the company holding the company holding the notification, um, that they have to do this notification system with NPRA, and they must ensure the product safety, quality, and claims, whatever that they promise, must show proof. For example, if they claim that the product is good on that according to the evidence used for 40 people, then they have to have that proof. So also the cosmetic manufacturers must comply with GMP, right? So that is also the requirement for any cosmetic um, um, manufacturer. So why our cosmetic products should be controlled? Because one is the safety is very important. Although it is not a product that we put into the body, but again, the adverse effect from a cosmetic product that contain prohibited substances or using illegal ingredients can be fatal too. And in fact, I remembered one case, I think maybe more than 10 years back, there was a fatal case. There was a death case of a person from Cambodia. Um, she was cosmetic. One of the cosmetic, she was going to have her wedding ceremony, and then she used a cosmetic, and that cosmetic contained very very dangerous ingredient, and she was found dead only after 5 or 6 days usage of this cosmetic. So from that, ASEAN, starting from there, they have harmonized among the reasons, because of the fatal and also the safety aspects that need to be relooking again. So the second is to avoid the proliferation of poor quality products being marketed. So many we see that in this country there are many poor quality of cosmetic being sold to the market on regular basis. That is also something that need to be considered, because we don't know if it's poor cosmetic substandard product. For example, they may also contain very poor, very poor quality of substances too. Then it will not be effective to the consumers. And cosmetic also need to be controlled, because the product claims, so that all the claims on cosmetic must be supported with adequate data, so that people just don't claim this is effective without any corroborated statistic and whatnot. And then ensure users are provided with sufficient and complete information. As consumers, that's our right, after all, right? To get, and even before we buy, we have to have informed consent that we buy this because we know that this cosmetic is good, or at least I got what I need to know from, for example, from the complete information of the packaging. So we can make wise choices, we can make informed choices, and that's very important. So in this aspect, we could see that the notification system is very pertinent in making sure that the cosmetic industry in Malaysia adhere to the principle of safety. So we have NPRE as the regulator, and also we know that the cosmetic company or the cosmetic holder or manufacturer must, do the notification through this regulator before it can be sold to the consumer. So actually, what is notification of products? It's actually a self-regulation one, whereby you don't need to have registration like drugs, because drugs is different, although we kind of look drug as similar as cosmetic, but they are very stringent in terms of requirements, because they need clinical testing, they need to have R&D, they need to have data to prove it's safe, because drug can have fatal adverse effect. And for cosmetic, it does not need to be that stringent, because the cycle people are using always, the beauty cycle is very fast cycle, and then it it is not like drug that we put into the body, but we use that on the external part, so it need not to be that stringent as drug. So this is a kind of self-regulation where the cosmetic company, the notification product holder, just declare that their products are safe, but they are not going to just declare it without having to having to have few aspects that they need to declare. Of course, it is through online registration, and also they have to have the list of ingredients followed, and through the guidelines of cosmetic regulation, guideline for cosmetic control in Malaysia. There are few, I would say, requirements of ingredients that they need to adhere to. For example, they need to go through the annexes that state which substances they can use, which some substances they cannot use at all, and which substances they can use but only with limitation. So they need to undergo all those, going through all the specification, so they don't put all the illegal ingredients as part of for cosmetic formulation. And then they need to ensure also they have this what we call as product information file in order. The product information file are sort of like record of everything regarding the safety assessment, regarding the safety assessor, regarding the testing, or any kind of aspect that cosmetic need to have. So that company must ensure that the product information file is in order and have a proper record for that. And even if they have record any adverse effect, they have to make it known, and they have to declare, and also they have to report, because it involves safety, and we don't want this to happen to happen any negative impact on consumers. Also, they need to make sure that all the information they provide to the consumers, maybe through labeling, through the information they provided on the packaging, all must be true. So this is actually the notification notes represented by NOT number. NOT stands for notification. So there is some kind of unique notification number for each product, and the validity period is about 2 years for each product, and it must be printed and saved by notification holder and importer.